And I'm going to share this, and I've never shared this.
Come on. This is what we do. We share stories.
I've never shared this.
I went back and let you read me from being a brick. This is your time. It's your turn.
Well, the reason that I've never shared this over here because I know this shit could go everywhere.
Oh, it will, but go ahead.
2 years ago, I had a breakup.
Oh, we're going here.
Oh, we're going here.
Oh, well, you shared it with me.
Oh, I have.
Okay.
But I haven't even shared this part with you.
Come on. Was it the Jasmine Sullivan? Bust the windows out your car. Okay, go ahead. Because I had got that tea. But go ahead.
What tea did you get?
Just go ahead. I've been waiting.
So
this is the section of the show. Let's address it.
Let's address it. So 2 years ago, I ended a relationship. And I'm only telling this because I feel like it illustrates a point. We've all been someone's disappointment. We've all been in a relationship with someone and we did some shit that was fucked up. And it may have been the best thing that happened to us. But because of immaturity or fear or whatever reason, we fuck it up, right? So when I was 27, I was in a really, really great relationship. Long story short, I was emotionally immature at the time. And instead of me communicating my feelings in that relationship when I was 27, I acted out. And in acting out, I stepped out. Now, even though I didn't fuck this other person, we messed around. And I'm a believer to this day that anything that you do that you would not do in the company of your partner is cheating. So that means if you're sexting, if you're flirting, kissing, fucking, jacking off, eating ass, eating coochie, anything that you would not do in the company of your partner, it is deceptive. That's the way I see it. And so I came clean when I was 27. This is the only time that I've ever cheated. And I have not cheated since then because I saw what it did to him. And I understood that I hurt him. And I never want to bring that kind of pain to anybody. Fast forward, 2 years ago, I ended a relationship. Now, we had been together about 2.5 years. And this particular guy was like, I've never loved anybody the way I love you. I've never felt this way. I've never wanted to be with someone long term. I mean, he was sending me pictures of rings because he wanted to be married. He used to ask me, are you going to marry me? Do you want this forever? His family adored me. I enjoyed his family. His friends adored me. One night after we did the live show at City Winery, we went to eat. One of his best friends, she came over to the table. But anyway, his friends loved me. His family loved me. He would send me pictures of links to houses on Zillow because we used to talk about building a house. He knew what school he wanted the kids to go to, like this whole thing. Well, I found out that he was doing some of this same fuck shit behind my back. Now, you're telling me that I'm the best thing that's ever happened to you. You were terrified. His words were, I'm terrified that you're going to leave me one day. All of these things. And what ended up happening was I found, because the spirit never lies. The spirit never lies. And you don't have to go searching and looking and digging. The universe is going to give you every single thing that you need. And my spirit just wasn't settled right. It wasn't settled. And so I just knew that there was something off. And what I discovered was he was seeking validation outside of himself first, because you need to validate yourself. He was seeking validation outside of himself, and he was seeking validation outside of our relationship. So he was holding on to people that he had, old fuck buddies, old relationships, sexting, sending pictures, video, all of the things. All of the things. And when I found out, all hell broke loose. And I'm going to leave it there. But my point is, why is, and this is what I was trying to get to the other day. When a person says, you're the best thing that's ever happened to me, I don't want to lose you. What is it that, what goes on in the operation of a person's mind that you are willing to jeopardize that you're willing to lose that? You were so adamant that every guy that came before you dogged you out. And then you turned around and did to me some of the same shit that had been done to you. And we ended up not speaking for several months. I mean, like, it exploded. Like, this whole thing exploded. And I think that's what you're tapping around at.
Yeah, a little bit.
It's but here's the thing.
1 second, Mo.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. But here's the thing. I noticed things along the way and I ignored them. And I ignored them because I was expecting that he was going to learn from my example. I thought he was going to finally turn that corner. This was before I knew about any of those things. But what I'm saying is, I thought that he was going to learn from the example and the demonstration of how I was loving him and how I was showing up for him. And then I just got to the point where he wasn't getting it. Because what happens is, your instincts will speak to you, but sometimes it's confusing and you're trying to figure out, is that my instincts talking to me? Or is that my fear from previous trauma that I've experienced that's telling me to let go? So sometimes it's hard to decipher between your instincts and your trauma. It's like, which one is it, right? And then I was trying not to be pessimistic. I was trying to be optimistic about it and trying not to run, because I believe that if you run today, you'll run every day for the rest of your life. And I sometimes, and I'm a big believer that sometimes, especially in the queer community, sometimes I feel like we give up on relationships too quickly because it's our own fear and just whatever. But I finally got the answers, right? Because again, I pray every single night and I say, God, show me what you need to show me. And that's not just for the relationship. That's for my entire life. And so it ended up exploding. We didn't speak for, I think, about 2 months. And then one day he hand wrote a letter. And he came to my house. I wasn't there because he said he drove by my house to make sure my car wasn't in the driveway. He drove by the house and he stuck it in my mailbox. And I read the letter and he basically apologized. And in the letter, he communicated all of the trauma that he was carrying from his own childhood. And so this is what I mean when I say it's important while you're single to do your work, to recognize and identify your trauma. So from this day forward, if I ever get into a relationship again, the man that I end up in a relationship with, he is going to have to be in therapy, have been to therapy, or on his motherfucking way to therapy. Because all of that shit comes up. And I don't care who you are, your childhood is going to show up in that relationship, because being an adult really is about healing childhood trauma. That's what really being an adult is about, healing childhood trauma. And so he apologized in the letter, and we ended up sitting down, having a come to Jesus moment. We talked and he explained all of it and what was going on. But, you know, it's just sad that people don't do their healing while they're single, because oftentimes when people are single, they spend their time thinking, oh, well, when am I going to be in a relationship again? I'm ready for a man. I'm ready for a woman. You're single for a reason. That's the time that you're supposed to be doing your work. That's the time that you're supposed to be doing your healing. That's the time that you're supposed to be clearing out your trust issues, your trauma, whatever it is that you got that you're carrying, that baggage that you're carrying, you're supposed to unpack that while you're single, because a relationship is the place that we go to learn and grow. I don't want to be your therapist. I'm not trying to heal you. You need to go lay on someone's couch and get your healing so that when you show up in my life, that you're as healed as possible. That's it.